Listen up. Another damn year is come and gone. And too many of us are still stuck in the same spot we were last year. What the hell are you waiting on? We sleep away a third of our damn lives, and yet we act like we can afford to take fucking days off. We think we've got the right to kick back and give ourselves all these fucking options on which path we're going to take in life. Like, am I going to run today? Am I going to work out today? Oh, it's Christmas. It's New Year's. It's my birthday. Do you really think time gives a fuck that it's Christmas, New Year's, or your damn birthday? Nah, you're giving yourself too many fucking options. Time ain't waiting on nobody. You keep sitting around wondering what the fuck you want to do, and you're just giving away precious time. So here's the deal, stop following the fucking crowd. They might be out here taking time off, but you can't afford to be lazy. Now, I got a damn good question today. Somebody asked me, I'm busting my ass, but I'm not seeing results. Here's the problem we get on social media, and that shit poisons us. We see all these fit models, snapshots of great legs, tight asses, big arms, broad shoulders, chiseled chests, all that shit. We see those snapshots, and then we start grinding for weeks, months, and we don't see those same results. We get pissed, comparing ourselves to these damn pictures. But here's what you're missing. You're seeing a snapshot of that fucking fitness model, that person you want to be. Half of us ain't even built to look like that. So instead of getting caught up in that shit, take a snapshot of your own damn self, how you looked before and where you're at now. That's the comparison you need to make yourself against yourself. Don't let that shit poison you. Stay hard. Now, let me tell you something real. I just got up after 17 hours, all right? And I know you're probably thinking, take a day off. Hell no, no days off. You know why? Because there's always somebody out there working harder than you. I'm haunted by that shit. Knowing there's someone out there who's willing to give up comfort, sacrifice sleep, and do whatever the fuck it takes to be better, to be the best. In life, there's always that one person. You might not have a name or face to them, but they exist. So you make damn sure, if you're thinking about that person, that you put a name and face to them. And make sure it's your name, your face, you do the haunting. Get in somebody's head. Own that space. And when you feel like quitting, because we all do, remember every damn hour, every day, every sacrifice you made to be the best. Stay hard. What's your fucking excuse this time? Is it too cold where you live? Too hot? Does it rain too fucking much? Nah, it's time for some real talk. Maybe you're the only black person applying for that fucking job. Maybe you're the only woman in the room. Maybe you're the only fucking gay person trying to break through. Whatever the fuck it is, maybe it's sitting in your head, taking up space, and making excuses for why you ain't pushing harder. Life's a big ass picture, man. And when I was young, all that shit was stuck in my head being black, not feeling smart enough, growing up with a single mom. That shit owns space in my mind. But here's the deal, if you're letting people's situations or your own damn thoughts live rent free in your head, you're losing. Point blank. Let me tell you something, life is one big fucking head game. And it's you against yourself. If you're losing, it's because you're letting life get in your head and take control. Stay hard. Here's the harsh truth, most of why I ain't making it. Because you keep giving up every damn time things get tough. Listen to this, you could have given up last year. Hell, you should have given up 2 years ago if you were going to quit. You should have thrown in the towel when you were down $2,000. But you didn't. You've already put in the work minus 998 hits deep. So why the fuck would you quit now? You finished school. And now it's hard because you can't find that dream job. You should have quit back in your first class if that was the case. But you went through 4 or 5 years of school and now you want to quit? Nah, man, now's not the time to give up. Understand this, if you don't execute the plan, if you don't get your ass up in the morning when you're tired, scared, and uncertain, you ain't just cheating yourself, bro. You're cheating your family, your employees, your team, whoever's counting on you. It's bigger than you. That fire, that drive, it's in you. You just got to let it out. You got to discover it. Every damn day you got to put in the work to pull back the cover on who the fuck you really are. Because I promise you, the only difference between you and those people doing what you want to do is that they realized they had it in them. And they started going after it. Today. This is the biggest struggle I see in young people. And when I say young, I'm not just talking about age. You could be 55 and still feel like you haven't lived up to your potential. Maybe you've been telling yourself your whole life that you don't have the strength, the power, the ability to be great. But let me tell you something, you can look in the mirror right now and decide that today is the day you start making that fucking change. I don't care where you come from, what your hardships are, or what your story is. Every single one of us has that fire in us. Think about it, every great story, every person you admire, every role model you look up to, they all started exactly where you are right now. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna keep feeding yourself that same fucking story that you're not capable, that you're different, that success ain't meant for people like you? Are you gonna keep making excuses? Or are you gonna hear what I'm saying and start putting in the work to get what's yours? The choice is yours. And those days when I'm tired, worn out, or just plain sick of the grind, what do? I go anyway. I get the shit done. Even if it's just going through the motions, I still do it. I don't feel like working out. Guess what? I work out. I don't feel like hammering away on that project. You damn well better believe I hammer on that project. I don't want to get up out to bed. Yeah, I still get my ass up and out to bed. Now look, those feelings, being tired, feeling beat down, those could be signs that you need a break. And you might be right. Maybe your body's telling you to slow down. But here's the thing, don't take today off. Not today. Push that shit off till tomorrow. Don't give in to that voice in your head whispering for that instant gratification. Shut that shit down. Don't listen to that little voice trying to pull you off track. Instead, push through the motions, lift those weights, sprint that hill, work on that project, and get the fuck out of bed. It's 44 degrees, pouring rain outside, and you think anybody gives a damn about that? It ain't about the rain. It's about what the rain stands for. Life is always testing you, always trying to hand you an easy way out, always giving you an excuse to not show up. Today's test, the rain, the cold, the grind. But guess what? You gotta have the mentality to show up every fucking day, no matter what life throws at you. It's your duty to step into the Coliseum of life, ready for fucking battle. I don't care what you're dealing with. What kind of storm life's throwing at you, it's your responsibility to find your new 100%. You hear me? Take it on yourself to get that done. Stay hard. Now listen up, I paid whatever the price was. Why? Because if I start counting the cost, I might quit, I might throw in the towel, I might surrender. But here's the deal, you don't count the cost on this shit. You don't count the breaths you take, you don't tally it up. You just do whatever the fuck it takes to get what you want. I must say that again, because you need to catch us on this one. You don't count the cost. You just do what you gotta do day in and day out, no excuses. Then when it's all over, when you've climbed that mountain, you look back and see the rewards. You look back and see the accomplishments. When you fall flat on your face, when life's got you in a chokehold, all them answers you're looking for, they're right there buried deep in that pain, in that failure. Life's a damn test, and guess what? Every answer you need is all tucked away inside that mess. You gotta live through that suffering, that hurt, that failure every damn day. You gotta learn from it. It's like hitting the gym, folks hate that shit. You might spend an hour busting your ass in the gym, but the other 23 hours, you chilling. But you wanna get in shape? You gotta visit that pain, visit that suffering every damn day. The real relationship you need is with that suffering, cause that's where the answers live. Go dig into that pain. I call it the live autopsy. Yeah, you heard me right. How they find out how somebody died, they slice them open after they're gone. But you wanna live, you gotta do that shit while you're still breathing. Crack your mind open while you're alive. Don't wait till you're dead and gone to figure out why your life went south. Do it now while you're living. Dive deep into that suffering, into that pain that's been eating you up, and ask yourself, why did all this shit hit me so hard? Why am I scared of all these damn things? Why did I shut the whole world out? Let me tell you something. The answers, they're in that suffering. They're buried in them scars you got. It's in those deep wounds where the truth about why you laying on that couch wasting away lies. All them skills you need, they're hidden in them scars. You got to visit them scars at least an hour a day, digging through that mess, studying it, and then you're going to learn about yourself. You're going to grow. So don't just sit there every day suffering. Go into it an hour a day. Learn from yourself, learn from your life, from your failures, from your insecurities, from that self-doubt eating at you. Don't just be like, I'm scared to jump out to that plane. Nah, ask yourself what makes you so damn scared. Study that shit. That's why I studied my mind. That's why I got so strong in the head, because I knew I was weak. So instead of running from my mind, I dove headfirst into it and asked, what's making me weak? Oh, now it makes sense. I came from hell, from a place that broke me down to nothing, and that's why I'm scared. All this shit makes sense now. So I went back one by one and met every single demon in my mind, every situation that haunted me. I faced them all one-on-one in my head. I said, okay, cause you're mine. That's just tricky. It always picks the easy way out. It knows what scars you, knows your fears, your insecurities, and it keeps you away from all that. That's what I wrote about the 40% rule. The brain's got the upper hand always. It knows, and it's going to keep you from all that pain. That's why it says, don't jump out that plane. Don't go swimming with them sharks. It's a defense mechanism. Don't go back to that place in your mind where your daddy beat the shit out of you. Don't go back. But here's the thing, the brain protects you so much, it don't let you grow. Listen up, cause some of why y'all ain't getting it. You've been sitting in that average lane so damn long, you don't even know what real hard work feel like no more. You're just floating through life thinking that shit's sweet. But I know there's a bunch of why all out here trying to be more than just average, trying to level up, but you stuck. You don't know how to push past that limit. But let me tell you, this grind, it's real. It's every single damn day. And you better find somebody or something to help you keep them gears oiled up and moving, because once they rust, it's game over. Now check this out, this right here. It's a mindset thing. Might sound crazy, but I guarantee you there's somebody out there right now eyeing what you got. They want your spot. They want your job. They want your life. Hell, they want your man or your woman. Somebody out there is hungry as hell trying to take everything you got. You might not believe it, but you best act like it's true, because if it is and you sleeping on it, it's going to be your ass in a world of hurt. Ain't no timeouts in this shit. Life don't give you no pause button. You can't throw up your hand and say, hold up, I need a break. That ain't how it works. So what you got to do, you got to learn how to flip that switch. When you get hit with something big, something heavy, you got to turn on that go mode, no excuses. Because let me tell you, the only thing that comes to a dreamer is sleep. That's right. If all you do is dream, all you're going to get is sleep, not success. So do me a solid. I need you to take a real good look at your day. If you spend more time daydreaming than you do hustling, you got a serious problem. If your day ain't packed with that 4-letter word W-O-R-K, then let me be real with you, you ain't ever gonna be successful. You ain't gonna hit them goals you're talking about. You ain't gonna be driving that car, living in that house, or having that life you keep dreaming about. If you ain't putting in that sweat equity, then you might as well kiss them dreams goodbye. What's sweat equity? You gotta make some sacrifices. It means that video game controller, put it down. It means with everybody else hitting the movies this weekend, you might have to pass on that. You might have to stay home. It means you can't watch the whole damn Lakers game. You might miss the first quarter, the second quarter, hell, you might miss most of the game, but you catch them last 6 minutes. Sweat equity means you got to give up something if you want something. And here's the most important thing I need you to get in your head. You better catch this one. You got to get up, get out, and get something. Yeah, I said you got to get up, get out that bed, off that couch, and go get what's yours. A lot of why y'all got dreams and goals, but let me tell you, you ain't gonna reach a damn thing just sitting there talking about it. You won't ever get where you're trying to go by staying in the same place. You gotta get off your ass and make it happen. I worked my ass off so hard that I took a broken down, messed up version of myself and turned it into this right here. And let me tell you, mediocrity is everywhere right now. Folks out here searching for the easy way out, trying to slide through life without putting in the real work. And we fooling ourselves, man. Picture this, there's 10 people in a room, all of you are mediocre. But just because I'm the best of that sorry bunch, I start thinking I'm something special, I'm great. I'm killing it. We surround ourselves with people who tell us what we want to hear, who make us feel like we're doing something when really we ain't doing shit. But the second you step out that comfort zone and put yourself among folks who ain't about that mediocre life, that's when shit gets real uncomfortable. You got that one person who's up at 3:30 in the damn morning banging on your door saying, get your ass up, we going for a run. We don't like that. We run from that challenge. We want to be around that friend who says, nah, man, it's cool. You've done enough today. Take it easy, grab a pizza, chill out, watch the game. We love that shit. Why? Because it makes us feel good. Makes us feel like we're doing all right. We don't want nobody up in our face saying, quit acting like a punk and get your ass up now. We don't want that smoke. We don't want someone constantly checking us, pushing us to face our weaknesses. We want that easy road, the one where we're the king of average folks. Now, people always asking how you stay hungry all the time, cause let me tell you, after I accomplish something, I don't sit back and coast like most people. I ain't like them guys who graduate from Bud S, get their stripes, then get comfortable. They start slipping, losing that edge, wonder why they're getting soft. You know why? Because once they reach the top of that damn mountain, they stop climbing. They think they're good. And when you think you're good, that's when you start sledding back down. That's why you see folks wonder, why the hell am I losing my edge? Because you stopped building, man. You hit the top and forgot there's always another mountain to climb. That's the trap of mediocrity. A lot of folks out here got some nice ass resumes, but they one-hit wonders. They did something big one time, cashed in, and now they just coasting. But what you're doing today, tomorrow, and the day after that, that's what separates the real from the fake. I don't want to hear no theories, no excuses. I listen to folks who push themselves to the brink, who wake up every day like, shit, I got to do this all over again. Whatever the hell it was that made me sick to my stomach, that had me hurting like hell, I know that's where the growth is. There's no finish line to this grind, man. The folks who get it, who've been through that fire, they know you gain knowledge through suffering. And on the other side of that suffering is a world most people will never see. It's a beautiful world because that's where you find yourself. You don't find yourself sitting pretty on some easy path. You find yourself on the other side of that pain, like that 100-mile race I ran. 24 hours of pure hell, but on the other side of that, that's where I found out who the hell I really am. Man, let me tell you something. In them 19 hours, I found out there's a whole damn world out here that I never even knew existed. But that world ain't out there in the streets, it's up in your mind. And that's where all this mediocrity shit comes from. Mediocrity, man, is contagious as hell. You can't be living in that regular ass mindset thinking it's cool to just coast through life. Nah, you gotta be at your best even on your worst day. You gotta push yourself to do something that sucks every single day. Why? Because once you overcome that suck, once you get past that shit, you become powerful. You've already conquered yourself, so you're ready to face whatever else comes your way. Every morning when you look in that mirror, getting ready to step out the door, the first thing you see is your reflection. If you can't stand what you see, if you're looking at yourself and feeling weak or defeated, then you already lost the damn battle before it even started. It ain't just about liking what you see in the mirror, it's about that feeling you get when you look at yourself. You might not always like what you see, but you gotta feel that fire inside, that drive to be better. When you step out to your house, that's when the war begins. In your house, you might have some control, but out there, out there is chaos. And that reflection in the mirror is your armor. You got to get your mind right before you walk out that door, ready to fight, ready to take on whatever the world throws at you. Now, if you don't make a habit of suffering, if you don't put yourself in uncomfortable situations regularly, you ain't never gonna stay hungry. Suffering ain't about destroying yourself every day. It's about staying uncomfortable, pushing yourself out to that comfort zone, keeping that hunger alive. If you rest on your past victories, talking about, I MMA challenged myself for 30 days, or I MMA run this one marathon, and then you stop. That's why the fire dies down, because you ain't got the next challenge lined up. You got to keep that friction going. That's where growth happens, man. No friction, no growth. Simple as that. I spent a lot of time out on the ocean in my old gig, and if there's one thing that the ocean taught me, it's that you ain't in control of everything. You might think you got it all figured out, think you're gonna paddle your way through them waves, then bam. A big ass wave comes out to nowhere, flips your boat, tosses your ass right back to shore. You can't stop that, just like you can't stop life from throwing some shit your way. But you gotta keep that mindset, man. Hold on to that paddle, get your ass back in the boat and keep on rowing. When your brain starts feeling pain or discomfort, when those insecurities start creeping in, your brain is gonna try to give you an exit. That exit usually looks like quitting or taking the easy way out. But if you can stand there, face whatever you've been running from, you start to gain more power, start taking that limit off your brain. We can do way more than we think, but most of us put a cap on our potential thinking we're giving it our all when we ain't even close. We tell ourselves we're giving 100%, but really we barely pushing 40. That governor in your brain stops you when you feel pain, discomfort, or suffering. It's like a wall, man, a wall that stops you from going further. But most walls, they got a door or a window. You just gotta have the guts to find that door, that window, and once you open it up, you'll see how much further you can really go. Ain't no limits except the ones you put on yourself. Look, you're gonna keep running into them doors and windows on this journey we call life, no doubt about it. But here's the thing, you gotta have the courage to open them up if you ever wanna hit that 100%. It's all about having that courage, man. You gotta realize that we all got a governor in our minds, something that tries to hold us back. But you gotta push past that, push past them mind games. If you keep sitting there with that mentality, like, I'm just gonna triple down on what I'm good at, then guess what? You ain't never gonna grow. You're going to stay the same damn person you've been, stuck in the same place. And I get it. Maybe you don't like getting up early in the morning to go run. Hell, I hated that shit too. Still do, matter of fact. But you know what? You do that shit anyway. You live uncomfortable because that's the only way you're going to grow. Ain't no growth without friction. And the only way to get that friction is to make yourself uncomfortable. You got to get to the point where instead of running from the things you don't want to do, you face them head on. That's how you start gaining more and more growth in your life. Now, let's talk about that dialogue we got running in our heads. A lot of us, we got a bunch of bullshit going on up there. We living in a world that's all about appearances, everything on the surface, superficial as hell. We got ourselves thinking about all the wrong shit based on what we see on TV, on Instagram, Facebook, all that crap. We telling ourselves things that don't even touch our core, don't reach down into our souls. So our self-talk ends up being stuff like, what am I gonna wear today? How am I gonna look today? I need to act this way because it's cool. Nah, man, that ain't it. For me, my self-talk had to become something that made me better. I had a whole lot of negative things in my life, but before I could even start fixing my self-talk, I had to shut down all the noise. All them phones, social media, all that negativity out there in the world, you got to quiet that shit down if you want to even hear your own self-talk. You can't have real self-talk if all you're hearing is somebody else's bullshit, what they putting out on social media, telling you how to act, how to dress, how to talk. Everything out there is about keeping up with somebody else, trying to be who they think you should be. But you ain't finding your true self like that. So first step, you got to clear away all that crap. Get all the noise, all the static out to your head. I call it going to a dark place. You got to get all the bullshit out before you can even have a real conversation with yourself. And here's the thing, most of the time, we're feeding ourselves the wrong kind of self-talk. It's negative as hell. So what I do, all day long, I'm making sure I'm putting positive self-talk in my subconscious. I'm walking around filling myself with the right kind of fuel to take on the world. That's why I work out hard every day. I wake up, first thing I do, I clean my room, clean my house, go for a run, work out. I want to win the war in the warning cause. The second I step out my house, the second I'm a house, the second I look at my phone or turn on the TV, I'm in a battle. All that negativity is coming at me. But if I've already fueled myself up in the morning, if I've already won that morning war, then I got the strength to face whatever's coming my way. The world's going to hit you with lefts and rights, but if you start your day off right, not hitting that snooze button, getting up even when you don't want it well, that's where your strength comes from. That's how you get ready to face whatever's out there. When you wake up every morning and do something you don't want to do, you're already starting your day off right. You're already giving yourself that proper self-talk, setting up that dialogue in your head to handle whatever the world throws at you. Whether it's dealing with folks that don't like you, fighting off your own insecurities, or just taking on the bullshit life tosses your way, you ready. That's self-talk. It comes from believing in yourself. But here's the thing, if you spit in that positive self-talk, saying all the right things to yourself, but deep down you don't really believe it, it ain't gonna do shit. You gotta put in the work behind those words. You gotta believe every damn thing you tell yourself for that self-talk to sink in deep, to become a reality in your subconscious. So now when folks start talking, when you hear the noise, you ain't even fazed. You know the truth, you live in that truth, and can't nobody break through that. Ain't nobody gonna penetrate that armor you built up. Here's the fucking deal, once you break free from your own limitations, once you stop putting people up on some pedestal like they're better than you, your whole game changes. Too often we fuck up thinking somebody else got something we ain't got, like they're better or some shit. Nah, never put anybody above you, man. Keep that field even. But let's be real, you can't keep it even if you ain't grinding your ass off. Now, I'm not saying don't respect people. You gotta have respect, no question. But if you step on the court against Roger Federer and yeah, you know you got skills, but you're already thinking in your head, shit, that's Roger fucking Federer, the best to ever do it, then guess what? You've already lost half the damn battle. It's like standing there on that first serve, set one, game one, thinking, damn, this is the greatest motherfucker on the planet. That's exactly how I used to think about Navy SEALs. And what happens when you think like that? 2 sets gone, just like that. Federer smoked your ass 6-0, 6-0, or maybe you squeezed out a 6-0, 6-1 if you're lucky. By the time you realize, damn, I can actually hang with this dude, it's too late. So here's what I'm saying. Don't walk into any fucking competition, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, whatever already beat. You got to step in knowing you worked your ass off hard as hell so you can be on that level. I did that And the moment I did, my whole perspective shifted. Suddenly, Roger Federer wasn't the GOAT anymore. He was just another tennis player standing across from me. And now I'm in it from the first serve, giving myself a real shot at winning. That's the mindset you gotta fucking have. Let me tell you how it went down when I got to Navy SEAL training. After I survived my first hell week, then crushed my second hell week, something in my brain just fucking clicked. I realized, damn, I can really hang with these dudes. Not just hang, though, I could take this shit to another level. See, I used to put SEALs on this crazy high pedestal like they were superhuman or some shit. But that kind of thinking wasn't just boosting them up, it was holding me back. I had all these fucked up expectations of what a special forces guy was supposed to be: never sleep, run on busted legs, do all this wild ass shit without flinching. I bought into the hype, man. I believed all that mythology. Now, don't get me wrong, that belief helped push me hard as hell to get where I'm at, but it also set me up to be let down. I started looking around during training thinking, hold up, these are just regular ass dudes. That realization hit me hard as hell like a punch in the gut. But you know what? It shouldn't have. Because the real problem wasn't them, it was me. The expectations I should have been focused on weren't about them, they should have been about my damn self. I was lumping all these dudes together, thinking they were some kind of untouchable, unstoppable machines. That's when it fucking hit me being uncommon among the uncommon. That's some real shit about you versus you. It ain't no competition with nobody else. Yeah, on the surface, it might seem like you're going head to head with them, but nah, once you break into that elite circle where there's Navy SEAL CEOs or top tier athletes, all just regular ass motherfuckers again in the same damn fraternity, putting in that same grind. But check this out. How the fuck do you stand out when you're already at the top? When you start pushing yourself to outshine the best, man, you're gonna stir up some shit. Cause all them alpha types, whether they're men or women, they think they the baddest motherfuckers out there. So when you roll up and say, nah, fuck that, I want more, I want to be better, you're guaranteed to piss people off. But that's the lonely ass road you gotta walk. It all begins with that accountability mirror. Looking yourself dead in the eye and facing all the fucked up shit you've been through. My daddy beat the fuck out of me. But guess what? He ain't coming back. All that shit that happened to you, that shit ain't coming back. It's on you now to take ownership of that bullshit and fix it. I know it don't make no fucking sense. And it sure as hell ain't fair, but that's just how this shit goes. You sit around feeling sorry for yourself like my daddy did this. My mama did that. I was bullied, and you're gonna stay stuck in that same sorry ass spot of misery. You gotta figure out how to move the fuck forward, cause nobody's coming to save you. It starts with facing that mirror every damn day. I call it the accountability mirror. You don't wanna dig into them old scars in your mind, but you gotta let that wound open back up. Let all that toxic shit bleed out. That's where the truth hurts the most, but that's the only way you're gonna heal and grow the fuck up. Look, all them folks back in high school, they thought they knew how your story was gonna end, right? They had you all figured out. But see, that's the thing, you gotta be out here every damn day rewriting your book. Flipping them pages, changing that story, making sure nobody else is holding the pen but you. And this ain't just some shit I'm saying to sound deep, this is how I live, how I breathe. This is the kind of conversation I'm having with myself all the time, everywhere I go. Real talk, the most important conversation you're ever gonna have is with yourself. That's where it all begins. But here's the problem, most of us are having the wrong damn conversations. We're sitting there, letting that toxic shit replay over and over in our heads like a bad movie that just won't end. We helped create that mess, and now we're living in it, just wallowing in that muck, letting it become who we are. And guess what? That negativity, that self-doubt, that's the story you're telling yourself, and it's the one that's holding you back. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't be like, oh, I've gained some weight or some shit like that. Nah, say it straight, you're fat. And if you couldn't read worth a damn, don't be like, well, I'm getting better. No, face it, you couldn't read, period. Sometimes you gotta call yourself stupid, not to beat yourself down, but to get real with where you're at. It ain't about being harsh, it's about being honest. The conversation has to be raw, brutally honest. About where you're at mentally, physically, emotionally. You gotta look in that mirror and say, I look like shit, I feel like shit, I'm lazy, I'm falling behind. You gotta call it what it is, no bullshit, no excuses. That's where the change starts. Your brain is the most powerful weapon you got, more than any tech, any gadget, any damn thing. When life gets real, when you're deep in that pit of depression, when you're dealing with death, with pain, with all that real life shit, you can't Google your way out of that. You're alone in that fight, just you and your thoughts. Your brain's gonna try to pull you down, drag you into all these dark corners, make you feel like you're stuck. But if you can't control your own mind, if you let it control you, then you're fucked, straight up. You gotta take the reins, tell your brain where you're going, how you're gonna get there, and not let it steer you off course. This is your battle. And it starts and ends with the conversations you have with yourself. If you don't control that narrative, it's over. We all got two voices inside of us, right? And nah, that don't mean you crazy. It's just the reality of being human. On one side, you got that easy voice, the one that's all comfortable and cozy. It's that voice whispering at you when you're only giving 20%, saying, yeah, that's good enough, man. You've done your part. It's like that comforting hand, telling you everything's gonna be all right, no matter what. That voice don't care how much you're slacking. It just loves you the way you are, even when you ain't shit. And honestly, that's the voice we all want to listen to because it's easy. But then there's that other voice, the one we all try to ignore, avoid, or shut the hell up. That voice is raw, it's harsh, and it's honest as fuck. It's the voice saying, yo, you ain't doing a damn thing with your life. It's not about putting yourself down. It's about facing the truth head on. But in this soft-ass society we're living in, people hear that and get all sensitive, thinking it's about being mean to yourself. But nah, it's about being real. See, the truth ain't sitting in that 20% where everything's safe and easy. The truth is in that other 80% you're not even touching. And in that 80%, there's a whole lot of shit waiting for you, pain, suffering, failure after failure, self-doubt, darkness. But if you can push through all that, there's also light at the end. But to get to that light, you got to go through hell first. The thing is, most of us know this deep down. We know what it takes to get to that other side. But we don't want to deal with all that in-between shit, all that struggle and discomfort. So we stay in our little comfort zones, in that 20%, acting like we don't know better. But you do know. It ain't no damn magic trick. It's about going back to that basic, primal mindset where you just get shit done. It's like breathing, you don't even think about it. You just do it. That's how you got to approach life. When that alarm goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind's going to tell you no, tell you to stay in bed. But you got to train yourself to say, nah, this is what we do now is routine. It's the new normal. Cause the road to where you want to go is paved with shit you don't want to do. And trust me, there's going to be way more days doing what you don't want to do than what you do. But once you make that your new normal, once you do it over and over again, it becomes like breathing. You might not want to live that lifestyle, but if you want to reach that other side, you gotta. That's what separates the ones who make it from the ones who don't. How bad do you really want it? If you really want it, you're going to figure out what trying really means. You change your mindset. You can change everything. It ain't just Navy SEALs or some elite group of people who can do hard shit. It's anybody who really wants to be there. That's the only difference. Look, man, some folks get hit with that inspiration, right? And that spark lights him up, gets him thinking like, yeah, I can do this. It makes him want to try something new, get out there and push themselves. And right now, we in this real chill spot, everything feels good. We got the ocean right there. I'm kicking it with you, man. Life's good. If I want to hop up, grab something out the damn fridge, snack on some shit, I can do that. Hell, I might watch a movie with some real badasses in it, and boom, I'm hyped, ready to go. But let me tell you, soon as you step out that nice bubble and into the real shit, all that feel-good inspiration gets tested real quick. See, when you out here doing the work, for real, it ain't all soft cushions and convenience. You ain't gonna be lounging on your damn couch, getting up for a shake, some donuts, or hitting the pause to take a damn piss. Nah, man, you out there in the thick of it. And that's when you realize the grind don't care about your comfort. Only the people who've lived through it over and over again, the ones who've been in that cold-ass water, body breaking, joints aching, suffering with every damn breath, the ones who can hang, they've already made peace with it now. They know, yeah, I'm going to be cold as hell. I'm going to hurt like crazy. I might even break some shit, and they still accept it. They embrace that pain like an old friend. Cause here's the thing when shit gets real. Your mind. That motherfucker starts talking. I call it the 1 second decision. You hit a rough patch, and your brain immediately goes, man, fuck this, let's dip. Everybody's mind does it, even when you think you're built for it. Your brain throws a million questions at you, like, why the hell are you even here? Why are you doing this dumb shit? And if you ain't got that fire in your soul, you start telling yourself, I got a good life. This is crazy. I ain't breaking my damn self up for this. Your mind be like, nah, this shit ain't worth it. But if you already know what's coming, you ain't shook by it. You got answers for all those doubts your mind throws at you when things get tough. That's why you got to train your mind just like you train your body. Some of us out here busting our asses to reach that next level, chasing that good feeling. Some want to run ultra marathons, setting personal records and training. Others out here grinding to be doctors or lawyers, killing it on those practice tests. But when it comes time to face the real shit, their mind ain't ready. They weren't prepped for that battle. Let me tell you a little story. I was 19 in the Air Force trying to make it as a pararescue man. Man, I was out there killing the push-ups, sit-ups, swimming, all that shit. I was at the top of the class. But the moment life threw a real ass obstacle in my way, I wasn't mentally ready. Physically, I was a beast, but all I was doing was training to be a bigger, stronger, faster quitter. You got to get your mind right for every curveball life might throw at you. Stay ready, cause this ain't about just pushing your body. You can't roll through life with a soft ass mindset. You got to be your best even when shit's at its worst. You got to do something that sucks every damn day. Why? Cause when you can push through the suck, you become powerful as hell. You've already beaten your own ass, so now you're ready for whatever battle's next. Every morning when you look in that mirror, getting ready for the day, what do you see? We all do it, man. We look in that mirror before we step out into the world. If you don't like what's staring back at you, then shit, you already lost. It ain't even about just liking what you see. It's about feeling something real deep inside when you look in that mirror. Maybe that reflection ain't even the point. It's the feeling inside that tells you I'm ready. So when you leave that house, the fight starts. In your home, you got a little bit of control. But out there, it's war. And the key to winning that war is owning that reflection before you step out the door. You got to start your day with the mindset that says, I'm ready to fight. I got this. If you don't get used to suffering, like really get comfortable with being uncomfortable, you ain't never going to stay hungry. Now, I ain't saying you got to go out here and destroy yourself every damn day, but you got to embrace that discomfort. That shit's what keeps you going, keeps you sharp. The problem is people get too damn cozy sitting in their victories. They do something big, then act like, hey, I did my thing. Let me chill now. Maybe they challenge themselves for 30 days, run a marathon, whatever. Then they kick back like, yeah, I'm good. I did it. But that's why that fire goes out. They ain't set up the next damn hurdle for themselves. See, obstacles. The only way you grow, you got to keep that friction in your life because that's where the growth happens. Without that grind, without that resistance pushing back on you, you ain't going nowhere. Now, let me tell you something. I used to spend a lot of time out in the ocean with my old job, and if that water teaches you anything, it's that you ain't in control of a damn thing. You think you're going to paddle out there all smooth, and the next thing you know, a big-ass wave comes through, flips your shit over, tosses you out the boat like you ain't nothing, and slams you right back on the shore. Ain't a damn thing you can do to stop it. That's life for you right there. It'll knock you around, spin you out, and make you think you don't got a chance. But what you got to do, you got to grab that paddle, flip your ass back in that boat, and get to rowing again. See, when your brain starts feeling that pain, that discomfort, when those insecurities creep in, that's when it starts whispering in your ear, telling you to quit or take the easy way out. And most folks, they listen. But if you can turn around and face that shit, whatever it is you're running from, you start chipping away at that barrier. You start pushing past that 40% limit you think is your max. The truth is, we all got this mental cap on what we think we can do. We hit that wall and our brain's like, hey, this is where we stop. But that wall is bullshit, man. It's just your mind trying to protect you from pain and struggle. But most walls, they got doors or windows, man. You just got to find them. It takes guts to look for that door when you're tired as hell and want to give up. But once you crack that door open and step through, you realize just how much more you got in the tank. And yeah, you're going to hit more walls along the way, but if you got the courage to keep finding those doors, those windows, you're going to push yourself closer and closer to that 100%. It's all mental, all about getting past your own mind games, man. That governor in your head, that thing keeps pulling you back, making you think you're done. But if you keep pushing past it, you'll be amazed how far you can really go. And let me tell you, it took me a long ass time to get to that point where I was like, enough is enough. You know what did it? One night I come home from work, tired as hell from spraying cockroaches all day. I'm just trying to unwind, right? So I flip on the Discovery Channel and I see these dudes going through Navy SEAL Hell Week, getting their asses handed to EM in and out to the water, just suffering like crazy. Some dudes were ringing that bell, calling it quits. And there I am watching this shit at 297 pounds, fat, tired, and just done with my life. That's when it hit me. I wanted to be like those guys out there taking that punishment and not backing down. I knew I had to change something inside, face my own damn walls, and start pushing past that comfort zone. Man, I had to switch shit up, no doubt about it. I was down so bad, hitting rock bottom, going nowhere fast. Felt like I was stuck in everybody else's story about who I was supposed to be, just some nobody. And let me tell you, that shit stung because I was starting to believe it myself. So I had to make a damn change. Ain't nobody else was gonna do it for me. Real talk, what I came to understand was this: no one's out here saving you, man. That weight I felt every morning, waking up feeling like shit, was all on me. I started shaving my head when I was just 16, and every time I looked in that mirror, it was a damn struggle. I didn't want to be that weak, lost kid my whole life, so I had to find a way to turn that shit around. And the way to do it, through suffering. I had to get my mind hard, build calluses on my brain, the same way my hands got callous from all the work. That pain, that grind, it's what changed me. Look, I broke 2 world records for pull-ups, but don't get it twisted, I failed twice before I made it happen. I had to hit 67,000 pull-ups in training just to break the damn record. To get to 4,030 pull-ups, I had to go through hell over and over and over again. But here's the thing, if you're cool with the life you got, then keep coasting. But me, I want to be living proof that no matter where you start, you can make it to wherever the hell you want to go. That's what I'm trying to show you. Now ask yourself, what's fueling you? Why are you stuck in this lazy ass mindset? It ain't cause you ain't got the ability. Nah, it's cause your dreams are too damn small. You got to live inside yourself. Block out all that bullshit from people calling you fat, gay, trans, or whatever other nonsense they throw at you. All that's just insecure folks trying to project their own shit onto you. Flush it out. You got to be who the hell you were meant to be. I don't care what you believe in, God, the universe, or just your damn self, but you better believe in something. And at the end of the day, if you believe in nothing else, you better believe in you. And listen, to find that greatness inside you, it ain't gonna come from no damn book or even from hearing me talk. I might light that spark, but the real fire, that comes from you going inside yourself and digging deep. You gotta shut the fuck up, get real quiet, and search your soul. Go deep into your mind, look at your abilities, and that's where you'll find it. But here's the catch, if you ain't out there looking for it, you won't find a damn thing. So the journey starts now. It starts with you asking yourself, why the hell am I here on this planet? What's my purpose? If you can't answer that, you'll be stuck searching for the rest of your life, always wondering why. Look, we all want toughness, we all chase it, but we try to find it in the wrong damn places. You're not gonna find it sitting comfortable, chilling in some safe zone. Nah, toughness don't grow there. If you listening to this, if this hits your ears, hear me, toughness ain't coming to you in no cozy ass spot. I tried looking for it everywhere, but the truth is you only find it when you throw yourself in the deep end, where shit is all messed up, where you feel like you're drowning. That's where the real strength shows up. When life's got you choking, feeling like you can't keep your head above water, you gotta make a choice. You gonna let it take you down, or you gonna figure out how to backstroke through that shit. You gonna find a way to push through, no matter how wild and out of control it gets. You figure it out, or you sink. When you quit, your mind just taps out. Like, hey, we done here, and it shuts down, doesn't even try to push no further. That's how it works when you let go. There ain't no growth, no stretching beyond that point when you decide to be done. But the moment you say, fuck this, I ain't quitting, that's when you hit that 40%. That's the space where most folks stop, but it's where the real work starts. You might be thinking, I'm suffering, I'm drowning, I'm tired as fuck, I'm hurting, but I ain't moving, I'm staying in this shit. And guess what happens? Your mind flips the switch. It's like, shit, they ain't giving up. So we gotta level up. We gotta stretch, adapt, grow. Figure this shit out. That's when parts of your brain you ain't never touched before start to come alive. Those corners of your mind that you ain't never used, they start waking the hell up. There's so many damn times in life when you ain't gonna wanna do what you gotta do. It's grinding your spirit down, but here's the catch, you can't just throw your hands up and quit. Nah, man, this ain't no fucking hobby, no joke, this is a lifestyle. This is who you are. So the way you talk to yourself, that shit matters. Ain't no coach, ain't no trainer holding your hand every step of the way, it's just you. All you got is your damn self to keep pushing. Think about this for a second. You're busting your ass for years, dreaming about getting that seat at the table. You want to be the best, better than the rest of them folks in your career, your field, whatever it is. You finally get that letter, right? It's time to show up, big ass steak dinner, lobsters on the plate, everybody dressed sharp as hell, looking like they stepped out of some high class magazine. But you show up soaked in sweat, worn the fuck out cause you've been grinding all day. You respect the event, but you still hustling. You ain't worried about no suit, you worried about the work. Lay that towel down before you sit. Don't be fucking up that fancy chair. And when you sit down, keep your mouth shut. Let them see your hustle, not hear your words. Be uncommon, even among the uncommon. And remember this, don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. Shit ain't just gonna fall into place for you, man. You gotta make that shit happen. Ain't nothing in this world gonna hand itself to you. You think shit's just gonna happen? Like magic. Nah, man. You gotta move mountains to make it happen. And when you start dreaming big enough, you'll hit a point where that dream flips on you, turns into a straight up nightmare. Then what? That nightmare gonna test you, throw doubts in your face, like if you wanted to be in special ops, but realize you ain't as strong a swimmer or runner as the rest. You might start failing them tests, and them questions creep in. Why am I here? Am I even good enough for this bruh? I know them questions too well, they hit hard. They flood your mind and make you want to quit. But here's the deal, the answers to all that doubt, all them questions, they live in the repetitions. It's in the grind, the hours you've already put in. That's where the truth is. Every drop of sweat, every failure you bounce back from, that's your foundation. Don't ever forget that. You want to dominate your craft? You got to remember every rep, every struggle, every step it took to get here. Embrace the suck, always. Let that shit fuel you. Adapt to it. Make it part of you. And no matter what, stay hard. We live in this world where everybody's chasing comfort. We all want shit to be easy, smooth, no bumps in the road. And then we sit back and wonder why we ain't growing. Why, when the smallest bit of struggle shows up, we fold. It's cause our whole life is laid out on this path of least resistance. We out here avoiding every little thing that feels hard, anything that makes us uncomfortable. We don't want to deal with pain. We don't want to deal with pain. We don't want to deal with pressure. So what happens? We stay stagnant, no growth, no strength, no toughness, just stuck in that soft ass comfort zone. Look, I was that dude. I hit 297 pounds, man. And you know why? Because that was easy. That was comfort right there. It was easy to sit on my ass and eat whatever I wanted. It was easy to not move, to avoid all that physical shit. But when it came to running, man, fuck that. I hated running. And that's exactly why I had to start doing it. That shit was uncomfortable as hell for me. I knew the only way I was gonna get better, the only way I was gonna grow was to face that shit head on. The food, the laziness, the excuses, they all had to go. I had to deal with what I didn't want to deal with. What made me uncomfortable was what I needed to lean into. I had to start callousing my mind, just like you build calluses on your hands from working. I had to toughen up mentally. It wasn't just about losing weight or getting in shape. It was about rebuilding who I was from the inside out. And that meant running, even though I hated it with every bit of my soul. It meant facing all the shit I've been running from. That's how I found growth. You don't get mentally tough by sitting around avoiding shit. You get tough by meeting that discomfort in the face over and over till it don't scare you no more. If you keep ducking out every time life throws something tough at you, how the hell you expect to grow? How the fuck you gonna build any mental toughness? I could sit here and give you all kinds of motivational talks, tell you about self-talk, visualization, taking shit one step at a time. But if you ain't putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations, all that talk don't mean shit. You gotta step into the fire. You gotta feel the heat. That's where growth happens. See, we all fighting a war in our heads. That's the real battle right there. It ain't about carrying no gun or being a soldier out in the streets. It's that war between your ears. You gotta challenge your mind to face the shit it wants to run from. You gotta train yourself to fight that mental battle. And the second your mind knows you ain't backing down, it starts pushing you harder. When your mind realizes you ain't taking the easy way out no more, it starts giving you more to work with. You stop looking for the path of least resistance, and that's when shit starts to change. You stay in the fight till it's done. Period. Man, my mind, body, and spirit, they all came together for the first time when I started this journey. I hit a level I never thought was possible. Not for me, not for anybody who was where I used to be. I remember I ran 19 miles in a 100-mile race, and even then, I went one more mile. I did 101 miles in 18 hours and 56 minutes. Yeah, you heard that right, minus 101 miles. I overcame so much shit in my life to get there. In that race, that was the final test, the final crucible. And I came out the other side with clarity, with peace. It was the most amazing thing I ever did, hands down. But let me tell you something, I ain't the best at nothing. I ain't gifted. I'm not some kind of special athlete or genius. I'm just driven. That's it. Ain't no secret formula, no hidden talent. Just drive. Man, look, motivation is some straight up bullshit. It's real talk. Right now, folks might be hyped up listening to me talk, ready to go run in the cold or hit the gym. But guess what? That shit fades quick. It's like a little spark, you feel it. But the second you face some real discomfort, you close the door and go right back inside. That's motivation for you. It comes and goes based on how you feel at that moment. If your marriage is good, your kids ain't acting up, and work is smooth, then you're motivated, right? But I want to see that cat whose whole life is falling apart, ain't got no money, no stability, who still wakes up and says, I got to get after it today. That's what I respect. That's the real deal. You see, you got to move beyond motivation. You got to be driven. Hell, you got to get obsessed. And that obsession, that's where the magic happens. When you get to that place, that dark, obsessive place, you don't stop. No matter what life throws at you, no matter how hard it gets, you just keep pushing. When you throw yourself into hell, that's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you figure out how to survive and get through it. Ain't no book gonna teach you that. You can't read some self-help book written by a dude sitting cozy in his office, sipping coffee, theorizing about success. Nah, I want to hear from the person who walked through the fire. The one who's been knee-deep in hell, thinking about quitting, thinking about walking away from it all, family, life, everything, and still push through. That's the bottom line. Everybody wants a quick fix. That's why shit like 6-minute abs is so damn popular. Folks want the easy way. And sure, you might get some results with that shortcut, but it ain't real. It ain't permanent. The only way you get permanent results is by grinding, by suffering. You got to make that suffering a permanent part of your life. Hell, you got to tattoo that shit on your brain. You got to go into those dark places we all try to hide from. You know the ones, those rooms in your mind that you lock up and try to forget about? You got to kick that door open, face that demon head on, and be like, what's up, motherfucker? Most of us would rather take that smooth-ass 4-lane highway, the easy road, where everything is laid out for you. It's got road signs, rest stops, restaurant shit. It's comfortable. But comfort don't get you nowhere. Growth don't happen there. Look, even the SEALs, we got all these mental toughness classes talking about visualization, positive self-talk, taking things one bite at a time. And yeah, that's just important. But none of that means a damn thing if you ain't living it. You got to put yourself in real situations. It's a lifestyle, not some classroom theory. How are you going to react when all that training flies out the window and you're in the thick of it? When you're neck deep in cold ass water, miserable as hell, and that first wave hits you in the face. It's only the first hour of 130 hours of hell week and your mind starts spinning. You're colder than you've ever been in your life. And your head's already thinking about the next 129 hours. All that self-talk you practiced. Man, fuck that you're thinking about one thing, getting the hell out to there. But here's the thing, if you live this shit every day, if you know how to calm your mind when everything's going wrong, then that self-talk does help. That visualization stuff, it kicks in. But most of the time we don't do that. We feel pain, we feel discomfort, and we react. We think, I got to get out to here. But the people who can control that instinct to run, the ones who can stand in the fire, who don't bolt at the first sign of trouble, they're the ones who push through. They find a way even when it's the last thing they want to do. It ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be comfortable. I ain't cold right now, though. I'm sitting here in a warm ass studio with you talking about this shit. But trust me, I've been through that cold. I've been through it 3 times over. And that's how you grow. You face it. You embrace it. And you come out the other side stronger than you ever thought possible. Stay hard. You got to really sit and think about that shit, man. It's crazy how we forget that every hard moment in life, it's all temporary. It's going to end eventually, but in the heat of it, we act like that pain's going to last forever. When you're in it, when you're struggling, you don't see the light at the end. You just feel stuck, like this shit is never going to stop. But one day it does stop. You just don't realize it at the time. Then next thing you know, it's Friday. You're sitting there back on the grinder, watching all those dudes who made it through Hell Week, minus 16, 17 of you, I'm all proud, all standing tall, walking across that field. You look at them like, damn, they made it. And while they're basking in that victory, you finally get a chance to reflect on it all. You step into that hot shower, feel that warm water hitting your skin. And the first thing that comes rushing into your mind is, why the fuck did I quit? That's the shit that haunts you, man. For real. That regret sticks with you and it don't go nowhere. That's what keeps me pushing every single day. I've quit before, I ain't gonna lie. I've quit a bunch of shit in my life. And now I know exactly what's waiting for me on the other side of quitting. It ain't relief, it ain't peace, it's regret. A lifetime of asking myself, why the fuck did I give up? That's the shit that eats at you every damn day, long after the pain is gone. That regret, that shit is heavier than anything you'll ever carry on your back. It's a weight that sticks with you in the worst part. You can't ever put it down. You can't outrun it. Once you quit and walk away, it's with you forever. So every time I'm in that struggle now, every time I want to quit, I remind myself of that feeling, that deep burning regret that never goes away. And I use that as fuel. I tell myself, nah, fuck that. I ain't going out like that again.